Have you ever been to an elephant ball? If not, find out what it's all about. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Myrtle Beach Marriott Resort at Grand Dunes. We're focused on the 4th annual Elephant Ball to be held at the Crown Reef Resort on Saturday, March 13th. And we're visiting with Duane Oliver, the chairman of the Horry County Republican Party. Good morning,
Greg,
Duane.
how are you? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much for getting in. It's so exciting to think we're this close. You're a little less than 2 weeks from the 4th annual gala.
That's correct, and it'll be a huge event. Just got a letter from the governor. He's trying to rework his schedule to come. That week just happens to be, you might know I picked that week, just happens to be budget week.
Oh, no.
But he's doing his best so that him and Jenny can attend.
Great.
Lieutenant Governor will be here. I mean, it'll just, everybody from Horry County, an elected official from Horry County will certainly be there. And most of the statewide elected office holders in South Carolina will be there. It'll be a huge event. At this point, we're limited on ticket sales, so we're getting close to a sellout. We really are. So excited about it.
Absolutely, and the 4th annual event. This is old hat now, Duane.
That's right. We finally figured out how to do it. We also have a great band this year. We've got the Holiday Band, which is if you're into shag dancing or shag music,
right?
The record of the year, the album of the year, the group of the year, entertainer of the year. I mean, just with the Cammy Awards. So it's just a great night of entertainment.
Why would a viewer want to attend? What would prompt them? Why would they want to get out there? What will be thrilling about the night?
Well, obviously to meet and greet your elected officials in South Carolina.
Right.
Also, you'll be able to actually talk with them, shake their hands, sit down with them, get a photo with them. You kind of one-on-one, and you don't get a chance to do that often.
Yeah.
And this allows Horry County folks to do that. So we expect about 400 to come and do that.
Great.
So it'll be a huge event for the party to hold. So we're just thrilled about it.
And I remember the last few years you've had some superstar folks at those events. I think the first and second years I remember seeing the former Attorney General, a candidate for U.S. Senate right now, seeing the governor there.
Correct.
Year after year to see the kind of turnouts, congressmen, and it's amazing.
We're the only county party in South Carolina that has an annual ball.
Is that right?
That's right. There's 2 that have like an annual dinner. Mm-hmm. And I just attended one up in Spartanburg, and there was about 320 people there. Mm-hmm. They do an annual dinner. We're the only ones that have an annual ball. And so we're kind of set the stage for Republican politics in South Carolina.
Very definitely. Well, Duane, I want to hear more about that a little later, but I sure want to ask, are you originally from the area?
No, sir. We moved here, my wife and I, Claudette, about a little over 6 years ago now, from Ohio. Massillon, Ohio, Canton, Ohio, kind of the 2 towns that sit about 8 miles apart. So we kind of lived right in the middle. Mm-hmm. So went to school in Massillon. Most people know Canton because of the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Right.
Is located there. So just for definition of where it is, if you know where the Hall of Fame is, you know where Canton, Ohio is.
Okay, sure.
So that's how that works.
What prompted you all to move down here? Did you all have any tie to the area?
Not really until my oldest daughter, Sherry Jones now, with Sherry Oliver, obviously, came down here on a spring break, fell in love, wanted to go to school here, so she came and went to Coastal. So she's been here about 21 years now, 21 years.
Right.
And my youngest daughter, Kristen Hardy, came down to visit her sister rather. And I told my wife, I said, she's not going to come home. She's going to want to do the same thing. So after 2 weeks of being down here with her older sister, phone rang one Sunday night at 11 o'clock and says, hey, Dad, I want to live in South Carolina with my sister and go to Coastal Carolina. So we agreed to do that. And that's really what got us here, is both of our daughters live here.
Right.
So we've been coming down for about 20 years, about 15 at the time. And the last 2 or 3 years, about a week a month, we kept doing that. And finally, I just reached a point where we just got tired of saying goodbye to our children.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we had some grandchildren by then. And it was, wait a minute, we just can't do this anymore. We cannot be separated as a family.
Right.
We've got to come together. So it took a couple of years to get everything worked out so we could do that, and Mom and Dad moved here.
So your firstborn moved here in '83, and then Kristen moved in '88.
Yes.
Golly, Duane. Yeah, that must have been tough. That's right.
So, oh yeah.
And they grew up in Ohio, and sure. Now, had y'all visited this area?
Never did.
Right.
Never did.
Oh no.
Sherry came down on spring break from high school, and that's what got her interested the first time. And then she went to Akron University because she's CPA. She's an accountant. Works for Ori Telephone, and just fell in love with the area, and obviously fell in love with a young man here. So that really got her here.
Oh yeah.
So that was the reason. And both girls graduated from Coastal. They were the last class that it was under the old name of
Coastal Carolina College.
Well, before Coastal, it was
USC.
Yeah, USC, University of South Carolina. So both of them have their degrees under University of South Carolina. Right. It's the last graduating class.
Is that right?
So that's kind of neat.
Well, I talked to one of your daughters this week, and she said, last week, Duane, I said, well, what are 3 things your dad likes to talk about? And she said, well, he really loves to talk about his girls. He loves to talk about his grandkids, and he loves to talk about his wife of almost 40 years now.
Correct. Claudette and I have been married 39 years.
That's amazing, Duane. How exciting.
It really is. And Claudette's always been a housewife. Most of the time, we always felt that we wanted to raise the girls with a mother that was home, and that was just the way it had to be. And so after the girls left, went to college, she did open a restaurant. So she did that for 3 or 4 years.
Is that right?
So
in Ohio, right?
In Ohio. We had a large restaurant in Ohio. And she enjoyed that. And then we decided to move down here, so we had to part with the restaurant. Then Claudette kind of got bored. You can only walk in the beach and shop so long.
Right.
You got to have something to do. So we were out one night with the sheriff and his wife, and the sheriff needed a volunteer to help out at the courthouse. And she said, well, gee, I've always wanted to be even in high school, I wanted to be a police officer. It was get married to Duane or be a police officer. I won. So,
oh, yeah.
So she gave up that career, and she said, I'll volunteer. So she volunteered for the sheriff for, I don't know, months and months. And finally they said, well, gee, why don't you just join the department?
Yeah.
So here she is at 57 and a half, 56 and a half maybe, going off to the police academy.
No.
Yes. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. Where is the police academy? Is that here in the area, or is that out?
No, that's up in Greenville.
In Greenville?
No, on the other side of Columbia. On the other side of Columbia. So a lifetime dream of hers was fulfilled by joining the sheriff's department. So she wears a uniform, carries a gun, went to the police academy.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent shot. You do not want to have a shootout with my wife, because you will lose.
And we're hearing it from the horse's mouth.
That's right. That's right.
That's exciting, Duane.
So it's really neat that what's happened to us coming to Horry County. What a great place to live. Just love this community. Really do. And you got to love the people here. Love the weather. About the worst winter we've had so far this year. But
that's right.
Spring can't be that far away. Usually in mid-March, we start to see the grass, some buds, and the grass greening up.
Oh, yeah.
So we only have, 20 days left? Should be warm again.
So that's right. Absolutely. Well, this is such an exciting week, and you've got an exciting 2 weeks leading up. What's this like for you, Duane, now getting ready for the event? Of course, it's y'all's 4th annual, but, over the next 10 days, you'll be out. Do you all have an auction at that event?
We will. We'll have a silent auction at that event. And of course, what we also do is we also have an award. We have the Republican of the Year.
Oh.
And this year, we're going to honor that with Representative Tom Keegan.
Great. Sure.
I think you know Thomas. He's retiring after 16 years. Has just done an incredible job for Horry County and the state of South Carolina. And it's such a high honor and a privilege to be able to present this award to him. We're just thrilled to do that. We truly are.
That is.
So that's exciting. It really is.
Absolutely.
We're also going to have a dedication of the ball to former County Councilman Terry Cooper, who has just passed recently.
Sure.
Terry was a dynamic individual, worked very hard for his constituents, did a great job for them. He really delivered everything he said he was going to do. And unfortunately, cancer took him a little over a month ago, and we think that the party should dedicate the ball to him. So we're going to do that also. We'll also have a silent auction. I know you've been to these, and they're political. The items that we auction off are political collectibles. These are the real things. I've reviewed some of those that we have that are here now. We've got original signatures from the president. We've got an original signature from President Ronald Reagan.
Oh, great.
So we've got some incredible items that are major collectibles. I mean, they really look good hanging in your office or even at home.
Office.
Even
That's
at home.
right. That's right. And that would be of interest to folks of both political persuasions. I mean, of all parties.
Oh, absolutely.
They'd be interested in just collecting. That's right.
Absolutely. This is some really neat stuff. And it's all framed and it's really done well. Extremely well.
You have attendees, Duane, from both parties that'll come out to the Elephant Ball. I mean, obviously the big support is to get out and wrap around the Horry County Republican Party, but you've, of course, got folks who just want to support party politics and have that opportunity to really to get one-on-one with elected officials.
We have a lot of, and I personally have a lot of Democrat friends.
Sure.
That we get along just fine. We don't maybe engage in political discussions very often. We can talk about everything else. But no, there'll be a lot of Democrats there that'll have a great time too. And we welcome them. We welcome them. We truly do.
If a viewer wanted to call to find out if any tickets are available, Duane, what would be the best number to call?
I'm glad you asked. 916-4445.
916-4445. That's it.
And it's only $100 a person this year.
Okay.
So $200 for a couple. Black tie is optional. And if you want to make a little honeymoon out of this, you can have an overnight stay at the Crown Reef Resort. It's only $55 more.
Right.
And that'll get you breakfast in the morning.
Oh, wow.
So, a couple could have a nice little weekend getaway.
Absolutely.
And have a great time doing it.
And that spurns quite a bit. This Saturday's the 10th Annual American Heart Ball to be held here at the Myrtle Beach Marriott Resort. And, of course, they gave, just like the Crown Reef's doing for y'all's event, gave reduced rates here at the Marriott.
To make it all work for
so
everybody.
that folks can come in and they apply those rates 7 days out and 7 days after. So folks can come in and make it a few days.
That's right.
Enjoying a facility. Of course, the Crown Reef down there on South Ocean Boulevard, I think it's around near the airport, has some incredible amenities down there. So that should be very attractive.
Facility. It's a very, very attractive oceanfront, obviously. And they've got a great convention center, conference center facility, in good gourmet meal.
Yes.
Of surf and turf, and you've had some of those.
Oh,
of course, we have wine service that never ends.
Oh, God, listen up.
If you like
better stay over.
Oh, we want to have a nice party, so if you do engage in alcohol, we really would like you to stay over. We just think that's the smart thing to do.
And that 916-4445 number would have a voicemail if someone's not there to answer it.
Correct. That'll go into voice, and what happens, leave your name and phone number. We'll call you back and make all the arrangements.
Okay, great. So for a viewer, one of our viewers in the PD or in southeastern North Carolina, but particularly in the PD, who, since there are no other annual balls in the rest of the state, if they wanted to attend a gala, this would be a great opportunity to come down and spend the weekend.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Have the opportunity to meet elected officials. Of course, you're talking about state reps who are traveling to Columbia on a regular basis, or senators, even though they may not be their senators or state representatives, still an opportunity to get issues out and to talk to them. And, of course, those men and women are open to talking about political I mean, they're just to have fun, but they're also recognizing this is an opportunity for constituents to get to talk to them.
Oh, absolutely. If you have any reason to do business with the state of South Carolina, you'll have a chance to talk to the movers and shakers on the political side. So it's a great event to attend. It truly is.
That's a very good point, Duane. One other thing your daughter mentioned was one of her dad's favorite passions, which was a boat y'all had on Lake Erie. What was that? Just us two. I mean, Kristen was so excited. She said, I asked her the top three things, and before we got off, she said, "Oh, Greg, I got to tell you this one thing Dad loves to talk about. What happened to Just Us Two?"
Well, after the girls left.
Yeah.
We were empty nesters. I mean, it was awful. It just was awful. I told my wife, I said, if we go out to dinner one more time with the same crowd and talk about the same things, I'm going to go nuts. Because you do that for about 2 or 3 years, then you realize, gee, you got to do something different.
Oh, yeah.
So I said, I want to buy a boat. She says, you're crazy. And I said, no, I'm going to buy a boat. So I went up. I started shopping. I'm pretty methodical about this stuff. So I traveled to Jersey, and I looked over there, and I went to Florida, and I went to Michigan, I went to Chicago, and I finally found one in Upper Michigan, a trawler, a diesel trawler, which is a liveaboard. So brought it in to Cleveland originally, and then took it from there up to Put in Bay, and kept it at a place called Catawba Moorings at Catawba. And Claudette and I lived on it. We would leave.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, no. Listen, and my wife was scared to death of water, so I had to get one, big enough.
Yeah.
And it had side rails, so she could walk around and feel safe.
Right.
And when she first saw it, she said, "You're crazy. I can't believe you bought a boat this big."
Oh, yeah.
But I did. So, and that was the first year. The second year, if I said I wasn't going to the lake, she would say, "That's fine, but I'm going."
Oh, my God, you're kidding.
Oh, no, she got really into it. She kind of became the unofficial social director of the yacht club. So she would arrange all the events on the weekends. So we would typically go up Wednesday night and be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I'd come home Monday, and then back in the office on Tuesday, Wednesday, and because I retired at that point.
Right, when the girls got out of the house.
When the girls left, and I bought the boat, and just kind of managed the business from a distance, and we lived on the boat in the summertime. So, but you only have 16 to 17 weekends, basically, or weeks on Lake Erie where the weather is tolerable. That can be it's tough. I mean, it's very cold, and Lake Erie can be just a brutal lake. It really is. I mean, out there in 10-foot seas, and 10-foot seas here are rollers.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Lake Erie, you have 10-foot seas, but they're very short. And it'll just beat you up. It'll just beat you to death. I mean, it's just no fun to be out there in 10-foot seas in Lake Erie. But we just loved it. We had a great time. I mean,
I'm just amazed.
We did that for about, I don't know, maybe 6-7 years. We just had a great time. Named the boat Just Us Two. And
Just Us Two.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, Just Us. That sounded like empty nesters for sure. That's right.
That's right. So, but we really had a great time, met a lot of great people. Just a fun thing to do. But like, anything, after a while it runs its course. And I think our 6th year we used the boat maybe a couple of weekends.
Right.
And this thing was, high maintenance to keep it there and maintain it. And in the wintertime, I kept it on inside storage. So they had to come in with a big crane and lift this thing up and take it into a heated building. And then I didn't have to winterize it when I did it that way. So it just made it easier. But it was still an expensive hobby, as boats are, and to not use it. It just didn't make a lot of sense. Well, then when we decided to move down here, I said, well, hey, we'll just take the boat down and live on the boat. She said, no, we got to have something bigger than that. So we sold the boat.
Well, the exciting thing was that idea of Claudette being fearful of the water, and then the second year wanting to be out there all the time.
And then just absolutely overcoming.
Just like attending the police academy.
Yes.
Getting out there.
She was scared to death.
Oh, yeah.
She thought, my God, I'm 56, 57 years old. Here I am going to the police academy, and everybody up there is in their 30s or maybe early 40s. Oh, yeah. And she is, but she did great. She did a great job.
Well, I've seen Claudette over at the courthouse over in Conway.
The sheriff's department. Seen
her there, and with the gun on, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
As folks that must be wild. I mean, what's it like married to a woman who has a gun?
Well, it's funny. She'll show up at some of my meetings.
Yeah. And,
of course, I'm dressed like this. A lot of times she'll be in uniform because she's coming in from the courthouse. And I just introduce her as my bodyguard. So we all get a laugh out of that.
That's a good way to calm down tensions in the room.
So anyway, but she just she enjoys it. She just loves it. And it's just a kind of a neat thing for somebody, that late in life to be able to fulfill.
Absolutely.
A dream.
Yes.
That she had since she was in high school.
Oh yeah.
So
we can share with the viewers a little bit about how a political party works, or about how, in this instance, the Republican Party works in Horry County. Why are there party organizations? And do both parties have a real sizable presence? This is the largest county in the state, so you've got a pretty big deal here.
Well, we do. We've been fortunate. Horry County is kind of the party organization in Horry County on the Republican side, kind of sets the standard for the rest of the state parties, Republican parties in South Carolina. We've just been fortunate over the last 4 or 5 years to have the facility at the mall, which just gave us great visibility. That facility just allows people to just easily come in and access Republican memorabilia or literature or talk to the candidates. So it just gave us great visibility. A great group of people came together to support the party. We're all volunteers. We run
all volunteers.
All volunteers, unpaid. And the budget went from $3,000 or $4,000 in meeting in a restaurant to $50,000, $60,000 a year, getting out the Republic message and helping our candidates get great exposure in Horry County. And that's really what we're all about. The volunteers, really our duties are to get our Republican candidates and elected officials exposure. You set the stage for them to meet and greet their constituents. And we try to do that as effectively as possible.
We've seen large companies in areas that will give contributions to candidates of both parties just to help those candidates get their word out, to make sure that there's an effective opportunity for the candidate to really get his or her word out. And it was exciting to see the litany of opportunities that you provided, or the Republican Party provided for candidates, like helping to provide PA speaker systems for folks going out, as well as literature, as well as helping them prepare for a candidate's race. It's just so important to be able to give a potential candidate who's representing citizens that opportunity.
It is. If we look at the 2000 election cycle, or even the 2002 election cycle, in both of those election cycles, we had as 400 or 500 volunteers out putting out literature, knocking on doors, making phone calls. We also have a phone bank at Republican headquarters, so we've got 11 phones that we can crank up and operate those phones 10 hours a day and touch a lot of people. We work for all Republicans, so the facilities and its volunteers were for all of our candidates.
Oh, yeah.
Now, obviously, what we try to do is, Greg, is we have to stay out of the primaries, because we could have a couple of Republicans against each other, or we might have a Republican challenging an incumbent.
Sure.
So the party, I really try to walk a fine line and stay out of that, and let it come through to the primary, and then whoever wins the primary, and the party machine, if you will, some people call it a machine, I guess you could, then we'll get behind that single candidate. And, of course, this is a big election year because all of our House members, all of our senators are up.
Right.
Presidential year.
Oh, yeah.
Half of the county council. A number of the seats will be up at different areas in different areas. So we're going to have, this is quite an election cycle, 2004.
It's such a big, we got about 4 minutes, Duane, and obviously want to continue to focus on the elephant ball, but I had to read this quote. It was such a great quote by a former state house member of Myrtle Beach, who quipped that, like Yoda's words in The Empire Strikes Back, there is no try, there is only do. And here in Horry County, DO stands for the party chairman, Duane Oliver. You won't see grass growing under his feet, and as a result, the same is true of our local GOP. And it's exciting to see changes happening in the party, and to see that excitement for folks to wrap around a party chairman, and to see that party chairman help whatever the political party, in this instance the Republican Party, to see that chairman really go out and help all candidates of the party.
I appreciate hearing that, and I'm intense, obviously, and I'm pretty intense about Republican politics, but and I'm a pretty good organizer, so it kind of brought it together and brought the local party organization together to do those things, to promote the Republican candidates in Horry County. So it's been fun. It's been fun.
What in your background, Duane, gave you that or gave you those organizational skills? What was it that helped set the stage for you to be able to do this as a volunteer now?
Well, my daughter would say it's the curse, because my one daughter has it too. It's just that I used to get kidded about having the groceries in the cabinets in alphabetical order.
Oh, wow.
It never got quite that bad, but close. I've just always been a neatnik, and just always have been a kind of guy that likes to get everything organized and I try to handle everything with a sense of urgency. And I've just always been that way. And that makes me intense, and sometimes people think that they take that for aggressiveness or pushing us, but it's... And I try to back it off, but it's just that I always try to do everything with a sense of urgency. I don't know, that's just the way I'm made. That's me.
That's very important. Of course, the chairman's job is not to push a particular candidate or a particular philosophy, but instead just to set those organizational mechanics in place
for the Republicans.
To
in
really
this case,
help
the Republicans. Of course, the Democrat needs to be doing that for his side.
Right.
So that's my objective in Horry County.
When you think of inspirations earlier in your life, Duane, folks who've helped set the stage for those organizational skills, would inspirations, anyone in particular early on?
Well, my mother was the same way. She was a well-organized and kind of a neat-nick also. So it's kind of inbred. I just got it from her. And then I had a number of school teachers over the years and associates over the years that have been just very, very good at what they do. And I'm a pretty good observer. And I really don't like to reinvent the wheel. So if I see you doing something and doing it well, and we need to do it, well, we'll just do what you did. You know.
What's the best part about being a grandfather?
Oh, listen. Well, the best part is they get to go home. But I love to have them. Yeah. But there is a time when it's like, oh, it's time to take them home. Yeah. And we have 5. Claudette and I have 5.
Oh, wow.
2 boys and 3 girls. So and Grandpa can deal with 2 at a time. I've had it where I've had 5 at a time, and that's brutal. That's tough. I don't want to do that anymore. But 2 or 3 at a time, I'm okay with it. We have a good time. There's so many things to do with them here. So we do that in the summertime. We do whatever the tourists do.
Oh yeah.
That's what we do.
Whether he's spending time with those 5 grandkids, or with his wife or his 2 girls, or so many of the candidates that are working hard to get their message out to folks within Horry County, the excitement is there for Duane Oliver on a daily basis. The excitement comes, it doesn't go, it stays with him, and it's going all the time. Get out there to the 4th Annual Elephant Ball coming up on Saturday, March 13th. Duane, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People coming up next. The event's the 4th Annual Elephant Ball. The place is the Crown Reef Resort on South Ocean Boulevard. The date is next Saturday, March 13th, 6:30 p.m. Call 843-916-4445 to get more information. If you're in the PD, make it down here. This is the only county ball held statewide for the Republican Party. It'll be a big night.